Hi there, welcome to my views and news. PM Abiy of Ethiopia is going to hold a key meeting on Monday. Is he sincere in engaging opposition? Is he sincere in resolving conflicts in Oromia Amhara region? Because the two conflicts are main agenda points reportedly. Secondly, William Ruto says enough is enough. The Kenyan president is running out of patience, it seems, for around a month. Protests have been ongoing in Kenya. Firstly, viewers, PM Abiy, when came to power in 2018, he came to power on the slogan of change. He was appointed Prime Minister for interim period to steer the country through democratic reforms towards transparent, fair election. His start was good. We saw armed groups surrender. We saw dissidents return home. Reconciliation, democratic reforms, people released from prisons. But after that, we saw that the country plunged into a war. War between those who remained in power for around 3 decades and those who want to remove them. Remove them from the center, though they were already removed. TPLF versus the federal government. During the era, last few years, starting from 2018, Prime Minister of Ethiopia has been claiming that he is leading this era of change, era of prosperity, that people's rights are being respected now, freedom of media is seeing new highs. But his opponents, his critics say that opposition political parties were not allowed to operate freely in Ethiopia. PM Abiy tried to crush opposition. Though he claims that he takes opposition on board, I'm talking all this in the context of the meeting, which will be chaired by the Prime Minister on Monday after a few hours. PM Abiy ran almost unopposed in 2021 election. Prosperity Party was almost unopposed. TPLF was a terrorist entity back then. ONLF, OLF, OFC boycotted the election. So Prosperity Party had no rival. Those who were rivals, they became part of the government. People like Naga, Barhanu Naga, Nama, these parties ran as opposition parties in election, they became part of the government. So basically, there is no opposition in Ethiopia. No opposition is allowed to exist in Ethiopia. A few weeks ago, PM Abiy invited opposition parties for discussions. He held talks with regional representatives. Representatives from all regions met with PM Abiy. Representatives from Orthodox of Ethiopia also met with PM Abiy, from Tigray too, and he invited opposition parties too. Main opposition parties boycotted the Prime Minister's invitation. ONLF, OLF, OFC, and other parties, they refused to talk to the Prime Minister. They said PM was not a convener. He should be a participant. So they boycotted. Now, another meeting between the Ethiopian PM and opposition political parties. By the way, last week, one opposition party issued a statement, Oromo Federalist Congress. Professor Mira Gudina spoke and he said that hundreds of his party offices had been closed, no activity was allowed, no political activity was allowed, and that political space did not exist for the party in Oromia region. He accused the government of complicating, exacerbating conflicts. He said that democratic norms were being violated. To which Oromia regional government spokesperson responded, Hailu Dugna, he said that OFC was complicating matters. It was not helping in resolution of conflicts. PMRB now wants to talk to opposition parties. Two-day talks kicked off in Salulta today. Salulta is in Shaggar, I think it's in Oromia Special Zone, Oromia region, surrounding Addis Ababa. And Adam Farah held discussions today. On Monday, PMRB will chair the meeting with opposition parties and himself. Which opposition parties? Opposition parties of the government's choice or genuine political opposition parties of Ethiopia. Joint Council of Ethiopian political parties is attending these talks with the Ethiopian government. This council has both opposition and ruling parties as its members. This platform, this forum is seen as pro-Ethiopian government platform of Ethiopian opposition parties. This group is participating in talks with the government. Today they met with Adam Farah, tomorrow they'll meet with the Ethiopian PMRB. So we'll see who will attend tomorrow's meeting with Ethiopian PMRB in Salulta. Will genuine political opposition parties be part of dialogue or not? Will they boycott it? They have been boycotting. They say that PMRB's government is not sincere in talking to opposition parties. It only uses such occasions, such meetings to tell the international community that government is very open, it discusses with opposition parties, it believes in taking opposition on board, which is not true. That is why they boycott such meetings. So, tomorrow on Monday, let's see which opposition parties will join the meeting with Ethiopian PMRB. Main agenda is Oromia and Amhara, especially Amhara. Very volatile situation there. Fano groups. Now we're seeing serious divisions in Fano. Region is being destroyed. Everything being destroyed. Businesses, education, tourism. So much is being destroyed in this region. Still no signs of any permanent solution to the problem. Oromia, already we know for years, parts of Oromia has been destabilized, not entire Oromia, but no resumption of talks between Ola and government, showing that the conflict is set to continue between the Ola and government if there is no resolution. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Secondly, yours, Kenya, Ruto, William. Ruto says enough is enough. The protests will not be allowed to continue. Ruto has been battling with protests for around a month now. People took to the streets against a new law about taxation. Ruto government withdrew the law. People did not stop protests. Ruto fired his entire cabinet. Protests continued. Protesters demanded accountability because dozens of people were killed and injured in the use of force by police. Ruto fired police chief. Protests continued. Ruto announced new members of cabinet 2 days ago. Now questions are being raised about these new members of cabinet. Ruto accused a US-based organization, Ford Foundation, of fueling these protests. Let's see. Ruto says now it's enough. Enough is enough, and these protests are destroying the country. External players are fueling the conflict, and government's tolerance should not be seen as government's weakness. Government will take action. So we could see now police action on protesters in Kenya in coming days. Obviously, Ruto cannot survive. Protests continue. The country is almost at a standstill, everything coming to a standstill. How can he rule? How can he govern? So he'll have to take some decisions, hard decisions maybe. He could face consequences too, but he has decided. He's giving a message that no more protests. Let's see how he handles this challenge. Thank you for watching.